Cat Brooks, Alok's college wife. Last night, Alok came to my room asking how the speech was going. So today, I spent the whole day asking his friends for nice things to say about him. The results were, who's that? Is that possible? My favourite, he's only a bellend sometimes. So I've had to come up with some nice things myself. Alok has been looking for ways to improve Hatfield since the day he got here. In his very first week, he was elected Keeper of the College Virgins, evidence of his top banter. At every JCR meeting since, he's been embarrassing us all and maintaining the purity of Hatfield College. He went for the role of tech manager in his first term, and has been busy working with the current exec to make all Hatfield events run smoothly, including the very successful Michaelmas Ball and Hatfield Sessions. There are a number of qualities to look for in an effective facilities officer. You want someone responsible, who can time manage efficiently, who gets everything done, but also you have to sit next to this guy at formal twice a week, so you want someone you can have fun with as well. Alok is perfect for this role, as he's proved time and time again. There was the time he was spinning so hard he broke it. There was the time he was so irresponsible the cranberry sauce Daryl confiscated it. And finally, the time he turned up at 4 AM, banging on the door to get them to let him in. The further embarrassing story is to see later. For proof that Alok is responsible and can time manage effectively, you need only see the endless list of commitments he's had this year. Whereas most of us run around freshers fairs signing up for everything but only ever going once, before giving up, Alok has been committed to everything he started. He has a successful show on Pebble Radio, Wednesday nights at 7, quick plug. He's a member of Hatfield Ends team, he's the most sought after tech director in GSD, and he's an officer cadet in the RAF. Vote for Alok. I can't imagine anyone better suited for this role, probably because there's no one else running, but also because I know he'll continue to work as hard as possible for our college. I'm so proud he chose me to be his college wife. Vote for Alok if for no other reason than to get the bloody town fixed. Thanks. Excellent, we'll now start with the questions. I think Sam has started.
Yeah, so what do you think will be the biggest challenge facing the facilities officer role in the coming year, and how would you tackle or overcome it?
So the biggest thing happening in college in the next, well, just over a year is the renovation of Jevons and the bar and all the laundry facilities. And I think there's the kind of designing aspect of that and getting that right, and talking to members of the JCR is really important for getting that right, and also making sure that we've got access to a bar and all those facilities that we might use during that time is also really important, and so coordinating with people like Trevor and college officers during that time will be really, really important to kind of getting the job done.
Okay, now we have a question now. A fellow Hatfielder complains to you about a broken dryer in the laundry room. What advice would you give them, and what actions would you take?
I'd ask them to, I'd thank them for reporting it, and I'd report it over to Trevor, or, Trevor because he's in charge of that thing, and I'd advise them to wait for another drive to be free if there weren't any available, Trevor will get the job done eventually.
In the past year, we have seen the renovation of PACE. What do you know of the future plans to update and refurbish the college?
So like I said, the major thing that's going to be happening is the renovation of Jevons, which involves a new bar, new laundry facilities, and all the accommodation above it getting refurbished and renovated.
Thank you.
Who do you think will work most closely with on the exec, and why?
So I think there'll be a lot of work with the senior man and the treasurer to make sure that things are getting done and paid for, especially if new equipment or repairing equipment. Also work with the social sec, quite important, especially for things like tech or events like Michaelmas and sessions and things like that.
As facilities officer, you'll work closely with a multitude of college committees. How confident are you in your ability to ensure that the voice of the JCR is heard, and your ability to negotiate and debate to ensure the needs of the JCR are met?
So I think it's really important to listen to the members of the JCR, so getting their opinion and kind of holding like polls on Facebook or things like that, making sure that people's opinions are heard, making sure people get what they want, and then kind of discussing that as an exec and reporting it to each individual committee will get the job done.
So, thank you. Any questions from the floor or down? Mr. Blue.
We've discussed a lot this year, obviously.
Oh, that's me up.
We're in a transitional time for college where we have not a lot of people wanting to come back and live in urban areas worse. What could you do with your goals to make living in as a finals more attractive to students?
So with things like pace, we've got the common room, we've got the gyms, so free gyms is probably a big incentive for quite a lot of people. Free TV, we have to pay for TV licence, might be something for some people. And then we've got, of course, there's the bar here, and hopefully we'll continue to have a bar. And making sure that there's events, that we're again working with the social set, to make sure events, those facilities are being used to the best of their ability is quite important to getting people going back into college.
Good timing. Hello.
Considering problems that we've had with closing the gym and the response from members of the JCR, how would you suggest managing people's expectations when the bar closes?
So as far as I know, there's going to be the plans to kind of keep the bar running is to have something on the tennis courts. I don't think there's anything final for that yet, but talking to Sam, that's what I've gathered. Making sure that whatever's there is what people expect and need, I think, is really important. And again, that involves talking to members of the JCR, whether it be through Facebook or whatever. It's quite important.
Any more questions? Daniel.
So the position of facilities officer is one of the new positions in the new restructure. From your understanding of the role, is there anything you want to see sort of changed about it? Like, how would you develop it in the next year to make sure that it's a sustainable position?
So something that's become kind of big this year, I suppose, is the introduction of kind of tech and things like that. And I think kind of evolving that even further, making things like outside hires around equipment, other colleges, things like that, getting expanding kind of our infrastructure in that way will be quite important as well.
Just talk us through how you manage a situation where you have a student who's emailing you about their frustrations about the college space, for example, being closed, which is not necessarily to do with your control, but they get increasingly irate at you, seeing it as your responsibility. Talk us through how you go about trying to solve that issue.
So first off, I'll try and explain why that issue is occurring, what happening kind of reasonably, why the reasons for it happening, and kind of what's going to be done in the future, and how that's like how we're trying to tackle the problem that they're addressing. If the problem kind of gets worse and worse, or the person keeps persisting, then I prefer them to see email or video.
Benjamin.
So I sit down this time. With the JCR Harmony Principle that we use as was frequently used as a study space during exam terms, Alok's moved to a more noisy area in college, whether you left the provision of additional study space in college.
So we've got 2 reading rooms and the library. I suppose during kind of summative season or exam season, we could kind of have set hours during which that room would be exclusively for studying and working. And hopefully that should kind of solve that problem.
Any more questions?
You'll be obviously working quite closely with the college officers, particularly with upcoming renovations. So how do you see yourself working, how do you see that working relationship, particularly in a situation where they might be less willing to give on something that you and the JCR quite want? How do you see that, envisage that working?
So as a tech manager, I'm kind of familiar with the lightning pace at which the college officers operate and how quickly they get things done. So I'm quite familiar and used to working with them. But if it was kind of a matter of trying to convince them how important something was, I'd back it up with evidence from members of the JCR, which again involves talking to them, running polls, whatever it may be.
Any more? Excellent. Can I tutor. Let us know in 1 minute why. Can I just ask, when do I knock? See? Then for it. Cheers. I'll let you know in a few seconds.
I like to think that I've done all that I can wherever I can within Hatfield, whether it's taking creepy pictures of people on a night out, setting up people in small and Hatfield sessions, building an app for welfare, or managing the college tech. I love to see this college working at its absolute best, and that's the fundamental reason why I would like to be your faculty for the coming year. My manifesto more or less speaks for itself. Should I be your next facilities officer, I genuinely aim to solve the problems that the JCR need and want solving. I'll look at the problems that people have been crying out about. I'll be looking to solve the dining hall thirst epidemic by being proactive about the tap, and I'll ensure that the bar and its future is secure and the best they can be. I'll look at improving laundry facilities and making sure that all gym facilities are available and looked after. As a freelance web developer, I also have the skills and motivation to work closely with the secretary and senior man to develop a new website and JCR app that is both useful and up to date. Having got involved with college life right from the word go, I feel like that I now have the ability to make this step up and be a successful